Hello there. Have you ever felt judged or treated differently based on your race, gender, sexual orientation, or any other aspect of your identity? If your answer is yes, you're not alone. Most of us have, at one point in our lives, experienced discrimination in one way or another. That is why today, I would like to introduce you to what many people think is the preeminent cause of polarization in our country, identity politics, and share with you why we should strive to live this political approach in the past. And in recent years, identity politics has become a powerful force in American affairs of state. But what exactly is identity politics? Well, it is the idea that our political beliefs and actions should be based on our identities rather than on our principles. This is the dangerous and divisive idea that is tearing our country apart. Why should one stay away from identity politics? The first problem with identity politics is that it divides us into warring tribes. Instead of seeing ourselves as what we are, Americans, we see ourselves as members of different groups, each with its own set of interests and grievances. This creates a toxic environment where we are more likely to demonize and dehumanize those who are different from us. One example of this is the way that we talk about race in the United States. According to a recent study conducted by Brown University, political polarization on racial issues has increased dramatically in recent years, principally in the US. This is not due to a rise in racism, but as a result of us talking about issues like these in divisive and inflammatory ways. One could say that, in a way, political parties have evolved into homogeneous ideological structures, where politicians, instead of working together to solve real problems of racial inequality, only bicker and fight over who is to blame, be it Democrats or Republicans. Which leads us to our second problem. Our second problem being that identity politics distract us from the real issues. Instead of focusing on the policies and ideas that would improve our lives and our communities, we are constantly focused on our identities and the perceived injustices that we face. For example, the trans right movement has gained a lot of traction in recent years, but trans people still face many problems that are not addressed by identity politics. For instance, according to a recent study conducted by the Williams Institute, the UCLA School of Law, transgender people are nearly 4 times more likely to live in poverty than cisgender people. This is a real problem that needs to be addressed, but instead of focusing on it, we are constantly talking about whether or not trans people should be allowed to use the bathroom that aligns with their gender identity. Furthermore, research has shown that identity politics can actually lead to a decrease in political participation among marginalized groups. This can result in an increase in radicalization and extremism on both ends of the political spectrum. This was demonstrated by scientific research done by the proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences of the United States of America. The third problem with identity politics is that it's based on a fundamentally flawed understanding of human nature. As stated by City Journal, identity politics is, quote unquote, an aggressive marshaling of human divisions. It draws its energy from factional resentments and fractures. According to this view, we're all just the sum of our identities, but our identities are determined by factors beyond our control. In conclusion, identity politics is a dangerous and divisive idea that is tearing our country apart. It divides us, puts labels on us, distracts us from the real issues, and it is based on a fundamentally flawed understanding of the human nature. Identity politics is not a solution to the problems that we face as a society nowadays. The only way to truly overcome the challenges that we face is to come together as Americans and work together to solve them. We need to put aside our differences and focus on things that unite us. So I call on all of you to reject identity politics and work together to build a better America forevermore. Thank you for watching.